Hey, what is going on, guys? Continuing my daily coverage into this bombshell $1 billion FTX influencer lawsuit, and I wanted to do quite a few things. First, we are going to talk about the new updates, and there are some very interesting updates in this case. And then I'm going to go ahead and give my honest opinion on what I truly think will happen in this case. And some of you probably aren't going to like it, but it doesn't matter. I want to make sure that I'm unbiased and I am presenting the facts and not just, being biased and saying, oh, they're all going to get convicted and, they're going to lose the case, which, just to be upfront, they're very likely not going to lose this case. Let's go ahead and get into it. So here are the updates. So first off, the summons did get issued, but it gets very interesting because the summons got issued to, which basically it's like the court is saying, hey, you're being sued. You got 21 days to respond. That's basically all that means. So the summons got issued to Creators Agency LLC. We know that's that spooky alien, dark magician in the shadows agency that has all these big creators working for them, working under them. You have Brian Young, Erica Kohlberg, Jeremy LaFave, Kevin Helmut Paffrath, Jaspreet Singh, Graham Stephan, all those different people. Now, one thing you will notice right up front is there's somebody who's missing from this list. Can you take a guess? That's right. It's Tom Nash. Remember, BitBoy already got a special summons. So BitBoy is not a part of this summons that lists all these different creators because BitBoy went and just lost his mind and started allegedly making calls, sending emails, tweets. So they specifically individually summoned him. And they want to do a status conference or whatever. Like, they're not playing with him. But one person that you may notice is missing from here is Tom Nash. Now, I found something very interesting in the docket. I don't know why I can't access this court document, but if you look at the actual docket, it says clerk's notice to filer, summons will not be issued. Defendant's address is not listed. Filer may file a notice of filing proposed summons with the corrected summons attached. I'm almost certain they've got to be talking about Tom Nash because Tom Nash is the only person who's not a part of this summons. As a matter of fact, if we just look at the document real quick, and I have it pulled up right here, you could clearly see that, you see everybody here. Everybody that's listed right here in the lawsuit, you can literally see them all down here. But you notice Tom Nash is missing, which I told you guys. Tom Nash is not his real name, and he does not live in no freaking Australia. So you can clearly see here Brian Young. Oh, it's showing their address. My bad. Okay, well, I don't want to show their addresses. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut that part out. But anyway, the bottom line is you could clearly see that all of these guys, and this is all public information, by the way. Like literally, most of these guys' addresses got doxxed. They absolutely got doxxed. It's in the court paperwork. If you go to the court paperwork, you can find out for the most part where all of these guys live, except for like a few of them. Like Jeremy, it says here that Jeremy lives in Massachusetts. That's not true. Everybody knows that Jeremy lives in Las Vegas. He put that out on his YouTube channel himself. So not all of these addresses are correct. However, most of them are. Like, yeah, Kevin lives in California. Yeah, Jaspreet Singh lives in Michigan. Graham Stephan lives in Nevada. Yep. I didn't know Erica Kohlberg lived there, but I'm just going to shut up regarding that. Creators Agency is in Delaware. That's where the paperwork got filed. But yeah, Tom Nash isn't on there. So that right there is very interesting. I already told you guys what's going to happen. They're not going to find that boy. It's impossible. Nobody knows what his name is. Nobody knows where he lives. I mean, I have a really good idea, but again, I think the lawyers did mess up on that part. Okay. Now that we got that small little update of kind of what's happening, I wanted to just give my overall opinion and just kind of explain to you guys what I know based on everything that I researched, okay? So I did a ton of research. I've been putting in a crap ton of work, learning about lawsuits, learning about the law, learning about how these things work, and this is what my research has shown me, guys. These YouTubers are going to get the ultimate, I guess, justice, karma, whatever you want to call it here, because based on what I've read, these guys are easily going to be spending more money than they made from FTX, with the exception of maybe Graham Stephan. I know Graham Stephan had FTX sponsored on several shows. He had it sponsored on Millennial Money, Iced Coffee Hour, his regular channel, So I think Graham Stephan probably easily made millions of dollars from the sponsorship. I think everybody else, like Kevin Paffrath, who claimed, I think Kevin said he made like $200,000. Tom Nash and Jeremy publicly came out and said they were getting like $20,000 to $50,000 a month from the sponsorship. So they've all made like six figures from this, something like that, maybe a little less. I don't know. But the bottom line is, I can tell you guys right now, the ultimate punishment these guys are going to get, I know they never gave out the money or set up some kind of fund to repay everybody. But what I can tell you is that these guys are absolutely, without a doubt, going to end up spending a lot of money on this lawsuit. That's the one thing I can tell you guys. They are going to spend more than they made from FTX on this lawsuit. 100%, except for maybe Graham. 100%. And it's crazy, but I know there have been a lot of people who have been randomly commenting. And by the way, let me just say this because it's really annoying. If you haven't done any research into how lawsuits work, please don't comment as if you're an authority. It's okay to give your opinion, but it's annoying when I see people commenting on my videos about lawsuits and you're just dead wrong. You know, like some people were commenting and saying, oh, it's going to get dismissed. They're not going to spend anything. Like, no, that's not true. These guys have already spent money right now. None of them have not spent anything. All of them have spent already tens of thousands. They've already probably spent anywhere from like $5 to $10 to maybe $15,000 because now that they're being summoned, now that the summons is happening, the lawsuit has been filed, they have to get legal representation. They've already spent money. Okay. So what you've got happening now is these guys are in a position where no matter what happens, they're going to spend some money because let me tell you guys something. Everybody thinks that, oh, they're going to dismiss the case. They're going to file a motion to dismiss. But here's what you guys are not understanding. Oftentimes in a court case, it can take a long time just for you to get to the point where the judge dismisses the case. It can take a very long time. It really can. These guys, in my personal opinion, I truly believe this. These guys are going to spend six figures or more just to get to the point in the case where the judge can dismiss it. I'm not joking. That's how serious and unfair these lawsuits are. And it's also important that I cover this too, because not only am I able to speak on what's going to happen to a lot of these YouTubers, but I also get to speak on how unfair the system is. Like literally, anybody could sue any of us. Like literally, somebody with money could sue you right now. And no matter what happens, you're going to have to respond to it because if you don't respond to the lawsuit, then the judge is just going to say, okay, I'm just going to award them what they want. And none of these YouTubers want to pay no $1 billion. So they don't have a choice. They have to respond. Okay. And then the other thing is they have to defend themselves. And these lawyers charge insane amounts of money. I'm talking $500 an hour, $1,500 an hour, $3,000 an hour. Yes, these people charge insane rates for this crap. And there's so much that goes into the lawsuit. There's all this paperwork and filing and the court cost. And if these YouTubers hire a lawyer that lives in a different state, because remember, there are other states that have better lawyers. Like most people are probably going to look to California or New York or Texas, places like that that have much better lawyers. And those lawyers are going to have to go to Florida. Well, guess what? That's going to cost money. That's the way that some of this stuff works, you know? So it's going to cost these guys some money. So they're going to really feel it. It sucks. It's right. It's like on one hand, I'm just giving you guys complete honesty here. On one hand, it sucks that anybody can be sued unjustly by a rich person and they're going to have to spend six figures to defend themselves. It absolutely sucks. But then on the other hand, hopefully this really gets these YouTubers to look in the mirror and say, you know what? I really effed up. And now I'm paying for it. Besides the hit to my reputation, my credibility, besides the pitchfork gang in the comments that are constantly telling me how much I suck as a person, now I have to deal with this lawsuit that no matter what I do, I got to pay for. I cannot get out of. That's what you guys got going on here. Okay, now we got to talk about what I actually think that the outcome of the lawsuit is going to be. So I do not think the YouTubers will lose. But again, I need you guys to understand, even if the lawsuit gets dismissed, even if the lawyers don't have a case, it doesn't matter. The lawyers have already won, in my opinion. They've already won because now we find ourselves in a situation. And I know a lot of people are saying like, these lawyers are idiots. They wrote an entire 73-page lawsuit. And there's only like 3 or 4 pages that actually go into detail on what these guys actually did. Like they don't have much description of what these YouTubers did. And actually, you guys are right. Like, to be honest with you, I have so much evidence on me, Kevin, and Graham Stephan and Andre Jick, and even Jeremy, that honestly, if I consulted with a lawyer and wanted to sue these YouTubers, I could create a much more detailed and better lawsuit. I'm not even joking. Because they really didn't go into detail of the evidence, but I have the details. I could go into some of the things Kevin said in my interview, some of the things Kevin said here, some of the things these people have told me. I really have it all. But obviously, I'm not going to sue them, and I have nothing to do with this. I'm just giving you guys the hypothetical on how this lawsuit isn't very descriptive. Now, I'm not going to go as far as to insult these lawyers and say, oh, these lawyers are idiots. I don't know what their game plan is, but one thing I do know is they're smarter than me and they're smarter than everybody in the comments. So just because you don't know what their plan is doesn't mean they're dumb. Now, is the lawsuit not the best well-constructed? Yes, you're right. It's not that well-constructed. That's a fact. However, this is what I honestly think is more than likely will probably happen, and I'm just speculating here. Because it will probably take them so long to get to the point where they can either dismiss it. And it depends. Some of these YouTubers are pushovers. Some of them are fighters. I think BitBoy Crypto and me, Kevin, are going to fight. And they have the money. They're the richest people in this lawsuit. They both are insanely rich. By the way, just so people know, the richest guy out of all of the defendants is not me, Kevin. It's actually BitBoy Crypto. Ben Armstrong, BitBoy Crypto, is insanely rich. He easily has a $20 to $30 million net worth. Easily. Probably more than that. He's rich. So I think him and Kevin are going to be fighters, and they have more than enough money to afford it. Kevin, not as much, because he decided to buy a $13 million private plane, which was not a smart purchase. But anyway, different conversation. So it's really going to come down to, you know, who's going to fight, who's not, if they're all going to stick together here, if they're all going to do their own thing. I mean, I really don't know. But if I have to speculate, I think the lawyers' game plan is to reach a settlement. That's what I really think. Because if they all reach a settlement, well, everybody, you know, the lawyers get paid, plaintiff get paid, the plaintiff will get paid, and then they can pretty much avoid like a lot of stuff if they could just settle. I don't know if that'll happen though. So it's going to be very interesting. But make no mistake, because I've seen some people in the comments saying, "Oh, Echoes, you can't possibly be that dumb to think that the lawsuit that Edwin Garrison and the plaintiffs are going to win the lawsuit." No, I don't think that. I honestly, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. And I saw a lot of people in my comments too talking about Legal Eagle and saying, oh, Legal Eagle said this, Legal Eagle said that. Like, I get that he's a lawyer, but he doesn't know everything. Like, shout out to him. He has a great channel. I like his content. But just because he says it's frivolous and blah, 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 okay, he still doesn't know what's going to happen. He's just speculating just like I am. We think that the YouTubers will win the case. That's what we think. But we don't know, okay? We have no idea what's going to happen. So I just want to make that very clear so everyone understands my position. I give a lot of different scenarios on what I think could possibly happen with the case, but ultimately, I have no freaking idea. Now, if you ask me my specific opinion about the lawsuit, honestly, I think if I sat down with a lawyer, me and my lawyer could have wrote something better. Because I've been tracking and following and making videos on these guys since the beginning of 2022. So it's been an entire year. So I have all the receipts and all the evidence. But anyway, different conversations. So yeah, that's really all I got for you guys. That's the update for today. I got another video I got to make. So there you guys go. Okay, anyway, that will go ahead and conclude today's video. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next one.